be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flag Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Valley of the Sun. Tonight, the National Racing Network is proud to be bringing you live coverage of the Indy Pro 2000 official series, round number 6. Like we said, it's coming to you from Phoenix Raceway. This is the oval with the open dogleg version of the racetrack, and going to be an absolutely spectacular night of racing here. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. I am pleased to be joined in the booth once again this week by Mr. James Watson. And James, I'll tell you what, cars are getting out on the track here for qualifying, but the action on the racetrack once we get into the race is sure to be pretty hot and heavy.
Oh, it's going to be chaotic. I can't wait. You're so close together at this track. It's just going to be nonstop side-by-side action.
That's been the feel that I've gotten in watching various splits throughout the week. Tonight we actually have 2 splits, which is, well, quite frankly, not a total surprise here, but it does mean that the field's going to be a little bit shallower. Basically, what we're looking at here is it's going to be the 14 of the best here in iRacing in the Indy Pro 2000 series.
Well, that's what we're looking for. I mean, the whole point of this broadcast is to see the best in the world in this car go mano a mano.
Absolutely. Before we get into where the results are, let's show you the point standings here. And Medina is still your points leader, but the gap has closed and back to Everett Paddock. Severi Seppa, Fidel Fernandez, Christoph Herbino, he's still your top 5. Matty Tremolata, Mitch Green, Frank Wynn, David Dendelo, and Emil Bernstorff rounding out the top 10 in points here for the Indy Pro 2000 series. About half the field has taken time here. Let's pick up Jason Owens. We're lucky enough, we're gonna have Jason as an in-race reporter here tonight, and in fact, we've got him here on the cameras as well. Seeing Jason clear off the racetrack. Let's see if he's gonna come back out for another lap here or not, but see if we can't bring him down here. Jason Owens, Chris Graham, the NRM booth. You got a copy on us?
Yeah, I got you, Chris. What's up?
Oh, man. It's a little bit shorter of a split this week, and see you pulling the burnouts here as you get off of pit road. What are you expecting here? It seems like the races have been a little bit chaotic over the course of the week so far.
Yeah, we've had some up and downs. We've had some no caution races and some 7, 8, 9 caution races. I think we'll have a good race tonight. We got a split, so we've got a lot of really good oval drivers up here in this split, and I actually wrecked on my first out lap, so I think I'm going to start at the back. So I'm going to have a compromised starting spot here, and I'm going to have to do a good recovery drive to actually have a decent finish. So it's going to be an interesting night.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, James.
We know you can pull it off, Jason.
We'll see.
All right, buddy. Well, there you go. That's Jason Owens. Pretty cool that we got the cameras up on him and everything else. If your driver is participating and you'd like to get their cameras on, make sure you let them know that we can, hey, we can get the comments up here and we can get the cameras as well. Remember, during our live broadcast, you can support with stars. If you're watching on Facebook, we'll post a comment on screen and give you a shout out as well. This gentleman is an absolute liar, but Chad Irvine says he's watching all the way from Moldova. I'm pretty sure that might be Moldova, Indiana, is where Chad's watching us from tonight here. But Jason Owens finishing up his lap. He does not set a time. So Jason Owens is going to have to come from the back, and we'll have qualification results and a starting grid here for you in just a moment. So far, Everett Paddock, quickest of the lot, 25.21 seconds. Cameron Dance is going to be second quick. Frank Wynn, Matt Zeiss, Evan Adams, your top 5 so far in qualifications, and only a couple of seconds left here. And like we said, unfortunately for Jason Owens, he does not get a lap on the board. Get you those qualification results. Right now, Everett Paddock is your quickest, 25.212 seconds. Cameron Dance, we'll call it almost 0.2 of a second back in the second position. All the way back to Jason, 14th on the grid, no time set. A little bit surprised to see Wes Shire back there in 13th as well. Wes seemed like in the practice session that was running just prior to this that he was having a little bit of an issue kind of getting his car squared away and where he wanted it.
Yeah, he's done really well so far this week, but I don't know. I guess the conditions they have tonight just isn't suiting his setup. But knowing Wes and how genius he is when it comes to setting up, he'll be just fine.
Yeah,
it's going to...
One of the big things, James, was that he was talking about the fact that did he want to be good in traffic or did he want to be good out front? If he put a little bit more downforce in it to be good in traffic, that's really going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, he's definitely going to know if he's good in traffic or not.
Yeah, you're going to find that one out the hard way. Here is your starting lineup. Everett Paddock and Cameron Dance going to make up that front row. Frank Quinn and Matt Zeiss in row number 2. Evan Adams, Simon Fell in row 3. Kevin Balassa will start 7th alongside Michael Wilkinson. Kevin Smalley and Mike Collier in row number 5. Paulo Vinicius will start in the 11th position. To his outside, another Brazilian, John Silva. Making up the final row will be Wes Shire and Jason Owens. And I'll tell you what here, bud, 70 laps is the distance. Tonight you'll see the lights turn, I believe, red at the top of the screen. Green flags in the air. We're underway here. 70 laps the distance for the PM18s at Phoenix.
It's just such a trip watching them cut down to the apron like that.
It is a huge move to the apron. Really pretty wild, actually. Comment coming in from original username Do Not Steal, saying good luck, Frank. Frank picked up the win just about an hour or so ago in the last PM18 race. Wes Shire actually finished second in that one. The big one here, though, is going to be, can anybody catch Everett Paddock? Side-by-side battle between Matt Zeiss and Frank Wynn. That is the battle for the 3rd position as they cut the dogleg. Everything's been clean and green so far already. 4 laps in the books. Let's slide back in the field here just a little bit. Pick up this 3-car battle between Mike Wilkinson, Mike Collier. Just ahead of them is Kevin Balassa. Balassa able to open up a little bit of a gap there. Charging quickly towards this 3-car party here is the 14 of Kevin Smalley.
Yeah, Kevin's really quick on the oval. It's only going to be a matter of time before he gets up to the front.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We see Kevin a ton in the TNT series, which is coming the full Season 2 of the Tuesday Night Thunder All-Oval PM18 series will be right here on the National Racing Network. Kevin is regularly at the front in this one. Kind of surprising to see the number 14 as the lowest I-rated driver in the field.
Right? There's a lot of guys that you come across with I-rating that you're like, I don't think that's quite accurate. And Kevin is definitely one of those guys that comes to mind.
Absolutely. Let's slide up here towards the front of the field. It's going to be a side-by-side battle between Cameron Dance and Frank Wynn down the front straightaway. Wynn to the inside in that purple and red machine. The red and black on the outside is Cameron Dance. Matt Zeiss going to be there as well. I'll tell you what, James, not only is cutting the dog leg the preferred line, but you've even got to be right down on that inside retaining wall.
Oh my God, it's insane. That's what I love about Phoenix is there's no other track like it with how much of the track you're cutting and having to time it to where you can get back up to the wall and not sacrifice your entry into turn 3. There's just so much space that you tend to get overwhelmed with your line combinations.
These cars running side by side are illustrating another big point that's going to come up throughout the race here. That is the draft is absolutely insane for the hole that these cars punch in the air. 2 cars side by side has allowed 3-4 more cars to catch up and turn this really into a 5-car battle for third.
Oh, it's getting good now.
Gary DeMoss checking in, saying, rumor in the paddock that Wes said if he wins, he's buying all TNT drivers a pound of Homestead coffee. We will gladly take Wes up on that offer.
Just when I think I didn't need any more reason to root for Wes.
Yeah, Wes currently holding on back in the 13th position. Sitting back there with Jason Owens. At this point, I don't know that it's a lack of speed in the cars, but you're going to have to start getting to the front if you want to have a shot at it here. Everett Paddock out to a 2.5-second lead. Frank Wynn now with 0.6 of a second over Cameron Dance. I mean, 0.6 is almost a quarter of a straightaway here at Phoenix.
Yeah, it really doesn't seem like it's that big of a gap when you're looking at it, but it just feels like you're in a different zip code when you're the car behind.
Frank way up against the outside retaining wall on the exit of turn number 2. I'm not sure if that was him trying to break the draft or just a little bit of a wiggle out of that car. One of the other things that we heard in some of the earlier sessions today was that drivers were running into an issue late in the race with really cooking off the right side tires. I was a little bit surprised to hear that.
I'm not really. I mean, post-update, you're definitely getting a lot more tire wear. In the past, you wouldn't really get much tire wear, but you would just completely cook it silently. You know, it overheat and then it snap on you without any warning. But here, it's much more natural, and you can gradually feel the grip slip away. So it's not a surprise at all to hear about severe tire wear.
Jason Owens, thank you, Mr. Chad Irvine, for the comment here. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear Instant Replay. How about the 3-wide move by Jason Owens? He's deep to the inside. Coming around Paulo Vinicius and Evan Adams going 2 for 1 through the dogleg. Wes had already made it through. That's a fantastic pass through turns 1 and 2. Go back to the live look here, and Jason now able to come around Wes Shire. He picks up the 11th position. This is the tightest battle on the racetrack. Next closest is going to be a quarter of a second between Matt Zeiss and Michael Wilkinson. That'll be the battle for 4th here. Seeing those two cars side by side.
Yeah, methinks Jason was just kind of putting around the opening laps, letting it get settled before he starts making his moves.
It's really not a bad strategy. I mean, you wait till about lap 15, save your tires as much as you possibly can. It may not save you a ton, but it might be that extra lap or two at the finish that could gain you 4, 5, 6 spots. This is one of the best split races of the week for the Indy Pro 2000 series. Every position is going to be pretty significant. Oh, almost looking 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. This is where the draft is really coming into play. Good luck for the announcers here. The 5 of Matt Zeiss is out front. He's got Kevin Balassa in the black number 1 just behind him. The 8 of Mike Wilkinson currently running in the 6th position. These 3 cars start to settle in just a little bit. Slide back. We'll pick up Kevin Smalley here. He's pretty rapidly catching in on the 13 of Mike Hollier.
Yeah, I give it about half a lap before Kevin gets around. He's got such a good run on him right now.
Big drive off the corner. I was going to say, it's almost like one of the things that they talked about with the last update. Oh, caution on the speedway. Yellow flag is out. Trouble on the racetrack, and it looks to be John Silva. Let's take a look here. Oh, contact between Wes Shire and Silva. That's going to absolutely, just about anyway, end the night for Wes Shire. He has to jump back to the pit area. John Silva looks like he's going to be able to drive away from it. Let's take a look at that one again, slow it down just a little bit. I wonder if that wasn't a little bit of a netcode issue going on there.
Yeah, there was some net code, but it just looked like, I don't know if his spotter failed him, but it just looked like John didn't know he was there.
Yeah, it seemed like the car of Silva came down the racetrack just a little bit. It's tough,
Yeah.
and it really illustrates the problem with running the cut dogleg like that. You're not necessarily going to know who's going where. Pit stops ongoing here. Everybody from 9th place Kevin Smalley on back is going to be pit side. There's Silva up on the jacks. Smalley's going to be down and away. Mike Holler able to come around him on the race off pit road. Paulo Vinicius, Jason Owens also electing to stop and take tires. Full air jacks on these cars, which is unlike the real world. You can, with only 14 cars here, James, new tires is going to be absolutely massive for these guys.
Yeah, I question the decision to stay out for some of these guys, because, like, it takes a while for them to come in, but with the advanced tire wear, I just don't know if that's a good gamble to stay out. I mean, track position is king, but with how the tires are acting, I just don't think that's the right strategy right now. Especially with 23 laps.
I was going to say, let's bring our in-race reporter in here, Jason Owens. What was the thought process there between coming down to take tires, and are you limited on sets of tires in the Indy Pro 2000 series?
So we're lucky we don't have a limit on tire sets here. The deal is these tires don't fall off very much, but they do fall off a bit. So, you know, I lost one spot in the pits. I'd rather have 20 laps fresher tires at the end of this deal. I feel really bad for Wes there. That looked like the other car came down. We're getting ready to go green here, but we'll see if we can get through the field.
All right, Jason, good luck, bud. So there you go, coming back to green flag racing. You see the lights up on the top of the screen. We are back underway at the front of the field. No challenge to Everett Paddock, but they're going to be 3 wide through the dog leg behind them. Frank Wynn holds on to the spot. Matt Zeiss, Cameron Dance going to duel side by side into turn 3.
Yeah, Everett got just such a great jump. It's like they weren't even paying attention.
Yeah, that was... It's always got to be comforting when you're the leader to know you've got a single file restart and you are absolutely going to dictate where that restart happens. When you're double file for the restarts, there is a little bit of a guessing game that goes on where you're trying to potentially play a little bit of a game. Really, the only thing you see with the single file restarts is when do you get on the loud pedal?
Yeah, you're playing with house money as the leader. It's the best thing when the only time you ever want to see single file restarts is when you're the leader. Otherwise, it's the most depressing thing. Especially in cars like this where the sooner you get on the throttle, the more of an advantage you get on the other car.
Battle back in the pack here. This one's pretty intense here. Jason Owens and John Silva. Kevin Smalley, Mike Holler just ahead of them as well. These are the 4 cars that stopped for tires, and quite frankly, surprisingly, not a lot of movement out of them towards the front just yet. Some of that may be due to just having to get them up to temperature, but I'll tell you what, Jason is probably going to be a little bit conservative in how he chooses to run around Silva.
Yeah, because the fronts in particular, the car is so tight the first 3, 4, or 5 laps. Then once you get past that, then they're perfect. And pretty soon you'll start to see them making moves.
Owens to the inside of Silva through 3 and 4. He'll get the pass cleared and completed down the front stretch. We'll head back to the front. Matt Zeiss, Frank Wynn, Kevin Bulassa, Mike Wilkinson there as well. 4 cars separated by less than a quarter of a second.
Oh my God.
Yeah, as a regular pilot of the PM18s here, James, it kind of has to it gives you a new appreciation for what you're seeing behind the wheel.
I mean, being behind the wheel in these situations, my butt would pucker, and now it's even worse seeing what it's like.
Everett Paddock and Cameron Dance starting to work their way through lap traffic. Frank Wynn at the head of this group of cars. Matt Zeiss, Mike Wilkinson, Kevin Bulassa as well. Almost a little bit here, discretion the better part of valor if you think about it. You just don't want to be there when the wreck happens in front of you. Wonder if that's not some of the strategy playing out here. These guys can't do this for another 40 laps.
No, they're going to destroy your tires if you do. Pretty soon here, they're just going to, calm down and just ride, get through more of the race, and then try to make your move with like 10 to go. Like with the guys we have in this race, the racecraft and the IQ is just so high that you're probably not going to see many poorly timed moves and stupid ideas.
Let's see if we can't bring in Wes Shire here from the Infield Care Center. Wes, from your perspective, what happened out there?
Yeah, just one of those annoying things about open dogleg Phoenix is you kind of got to commit to your line well before the cone if you're going to cut really low. And I had committed to going right at the cone, and I guess I can only assume John didn't realize I was going to be that close to him.
Yeah, well, tough break on this one, but hopefully we're seeing you back here next week.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully.
All right, Wes. Good luck to you, bud. Thank you. So there you go. That's Wes Shire out of the race early in this one. Currently sitting 14th and last with significant amount of damage. So
yeah, it appears.
I said, James, let's do this. We've been talking for a while here. How about we get us to be quiet? We'll give the fans a chance to crank it up here.
Oh, yeah, my volume dial is breaking as we speak.
Oh, caution on the speedway. Trouble on the racetrack. And I believe that was your race leader. Let's get the replay queued up here, folks. At half speed, you're going to get this one. Everett Paddock in the 3 was your race leader. Oh, man, it starts to come up the racetrack. I would say, inexcusable to see an incident like that happen. But he got Cameron Dance with him. Wow. That is an absolute game changer here at the front of the field. Show it to you again in real time.
Goodness, there was just so much, because like a lap before, the 1 and the 11 got into a really nasty accident that somehow didn't bring out a caution.
Yeah, that's something, actually, we can get you the Hot Shoe Raceway instant replay on that one as well. This would be incident number 2 for the night for John Silva. Yeah, oh, man. Wow, that was a huge hit into the outside safer barrier.
Yeah, I don't know what John was doing there. He just went straight on into Kevin and just murdered both of them. John's not didn't have such a great race with as far as contact.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a tough time out here, and let's take a look. I'm really surprised here. The Kiwi Simulators number 2 of Cameron Dance. It doesn't look like he took much damage there from that contact with Everett Paddock. you almost wonder if that wasn't a netcode issue somewhere, because Paddock got absolutely drilled into the outside retaining wall, and Cameron Dance looks pretty darn good from our view here.
Yeah, I was reviewing it. They were close, and then all of a sudden you just see the rear of Everett's car just jerked to the right into the wall. And then for some strange reason, the 8 of Michael Wilkinson just left the race. No damage, no nothing, just disappeared.
Yeah, let's take a look here and see if we can't get a replay on it. Yeah, that almost looks like a connection issue for Wilkinson, because this is well past where he disappeared. Wilkinson scored at 37.72 laps before his issue, so that looks like it may have been a straight connection drop there for Michael Wilkinson. So let's give you the run through the field here. Cameron Dance is your race leader. Really didn't have anything for Everett Paddock prior to that incident. Currently running in the second position is Frank Wynn. Frank already with a win tonight in the PM18s.
Oop, I just got a message from our pit reporter, Mr. Chad Irvine. Apparently Wilkinson was DQ'd for not serving his meatball fly.
Well, there you go. I didn't even realize Wilkinson had a meatball.
I didn't either. His completely fine to me, but he must have gotten mixed up in some sort of prior issue enough to trigger the meatball.
Yep. Evan Adams currently running in the fourth position. Fantastic Dan Gurney Eagle throwback on that car. The All-American Racer, sponsored by Castrol. We're on GP, the livery for Paolo Vinicius. There's Jason Owens running in the 6 in the Extra Life Riley Children's Foundation entry. Just back behind him, you can't miss this car, Simon Fell. One of the loudest cars on the racetrack as we go back to green flag racing. Dance going to be your race leader. Once again, he gets away easily, but I tell you what here, James, Jason Owens now up to the 6th position. In fact, he's going to be battling 5th and 6th. This race just got very, very interesting just past the halfway point.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get a lot of new players up at the front. Man, I tell you, Cameron Dance just had a big wiggle coming out of 4 that allowed the field to catch back up.
Yeah, this is where the new tires are going to absolutely play into these drivers' hands. Dance and Zeiss going to go side by side for the race lead into turn 3. Frank Wynn going to run the outside. How about Jason Owens up 10 spots to 4th? Huge into the outside wall.
Oh, my good. I saw it. He almost did it a lap before, and this time just couldn't save it. Wow.
Big hit for Cameron Dance there.
You know, maybe that wasn't completely netcode after all. Maybe Cameron did get some damage.
Yeah, that turned into a tank slapper pretty quickly. Almost like you would see the issue when you would get the rear tire to like 300 degrees. If it hit 300, you were just snap oversteer loose in these cars prior to the last update. That's sort of what that looked like. It really quickly turned into tank slapping ugliness for Cameron Dance.
Yeah, that's just heartbreaking.
Paolo Vinicius also on pit road. And we're now down to 7 cars that are currently still on the racetrack. Vinicius and Dance. Dance is going to have some extended repair time on that machine. There's the 9.
Yeah.
He's going to come out after taking tires here. Wes Shire's back on the racetrack, and he's actually going to have potentially could finish as high as 8th is what it looks like right now.
Here we go, Wes. Comeback drive starts now.
Yep, only about 20 or so laps behind the race leaders. I don't know that the comeback's going to be that big, but I tell you what here now, we're going to be lap number 46 the next time they come around, so it's going to be 25 laps to go. Seeing the comments here, cautions breed cautions. Yeah, that's one of those things that you're just not going to get away from. And at this point now, Matt Zeiss and Frank Wynn are the only 2 cars, I believe, on the racetrack that have not made a pit stop yet. Also, 4th place, Evan Adams as well. Everybody else has been in for fresh tires. In fact, Kevin Smalley has stopped twice for fresh rubber. So I would think, James, almost we're getting to a point where every caution you're going to take tires, because the furthest you're going to fall back is 7th or 8th.
Yeah, I don't think that would be that bad of an idea. The only problem is, do you have enough faith that you can get the tires warmed up in time to really be competitive? Speaking of all that, let's take a look at who's sitting in the 3rd spot right now.
Hey,
Yeah.
What's up, James and Chris?
Yeah,
we're coming to... what's up, guys?
Well, you say we're coming to 1 to go here. What's your thought process here now?
I'm pretty happy with the set I took with at that caution after 20 laps in. Made it through a couple code browns. They're on the way up through the field, but happy with where I'm at. And as long as I can keep it clean, I'm going to be happy with wherever I finish. So know I got a couple good drivers in front of me and going to go out and give them everything I can from here.
All right, bud. Well, good luck here the rest of the way. Hopefully we're talking to you again in just a little bit.
Just hopefully not from the infield care center.
Yeah, that's right. You don't want to be in the infield care center, but everybody stacked up against the outside safer barrier means we're going to be coming back to green. Off of turn number 4, Matt Zeiss, your race leader. Frank Wynn going to line up behind him. Great restart for Zeiss. Wynn's going to have Owens all over his back bumper. Kevin Smalley going to look inside of Evan Adams into 1 as well.
Ooh, Kevin might be able to make it stick this time. Yep, ooh. No, he's got him great.
Yep, I was going to say, you can get the car wound up on the outside, but that might have been a little bit too far outside to get things wound up. Let's head back to the front here because we've got a 3-car battle for the race lead. Jason Owens looking inside, 3 wide into turn 3 for the lead.
Oh my God, they were so close. Wow, how did they not touch there? Oh my goodness.
A little bit of a wiggle out of each one of them. But Matt Zeiss not able to escape out to the lead. Owens up to 2nd. Not a bad choice for our first full-time in-race reporter. And now this is where you can almost sit back in the draft and plan when you want to make that move.
Yeah, especially since he has so much fresher tires than Matt. He's in the catbird seat right now.
This battle going on just back behind the race lead's a good one as well. Smalley, Adams, Fell, and Holler. These 4 are going to duel through the infield. Fell going to give up the spot to Holler. These guys start to settle in. The battle for the race lead is just heating up, though. Lap 52 of 70 on the scoreboard. Jason Owens going to take the high line, try to get the big momentum run. We'll see if he gets to dive inside the corner. He does not. Nice job by Zeiss to keep the corner covered. But a big run down the straightaway coming here for Owens.
Oh, he set him up. He planned this move entering turn 3.
New race leader as they get back to turn 3 next time by. It's going to be Jason Owens, but Matt Zeiss not going away. He's going to stay almost to the rear tire of Owens as they come down the straightaway. Zeiss going to get a little bit of a push from Frank Wynn, but not much there. Wynn now tucked in behind Owens.
That's got a big run, dives to the outside.
Trying to set up the same pass that Jason made the last time by. Problem is he's going to be too close to duck inside. The thing is, you can't completely protect the inside lane. This isn't like a pack race at Daytona or Talladega where the out-of-bounds line is going to come into play. If you hug the bottom too much, you're going to scrub speed, and that's going to allow Zeiss and even Frank Wynn to make a run at the win.
Ooh, Frank was really thinking about making it 3 wide there.
Yeah, that was a big battle here. Let's pull up the camera on Jason Owens here. Kind of get you a look at the intensity of what Jason's doing, but keep your eye on the wheel as well. Every big movement of that car is a huge correction in these PM18s.
Yeah, the inputs, they don't look all that big, but every input you make is huge when it comes to this car. It looks easy and it looks simple, but good gracious, is anything but.
Pretty interesting to see Jason set up a little bit right-hand low down the straightaways. Basically what that means is he's having to steer towards the outside wall to keep that car in a straight line. Working lap 59 of 70, so it's going to be 12 to go this time by the start-finish line. Lap traffic in the form of Kevin Bulassa just up ahead of him. Bulassa clears out of the way to the inside. Gentlemanly thing there to do. You would expect nothing less out of the guy carrying the number 1 plate. Cameron Dance just up ahead as well. Next time by, it'll be 10 laps to go here at the Phoenix Raceway. Owens, Zeiss, Wynn, your top 3. We're going to stay right with this battle so long as it's as close as it is. Kevin Smalley battling with Paolo Vinicius. That's just a little bit back behind these 3 lead cars. They seem to have settled in. Let's slide back here and pick this one up. Smalley to the inside, Vinicius to the outside. Oh, they almost make contact through the dog leg. Chad Irvine needs to get in here as a pit reporter because he's doing it from the comments, saying Frank was talking about his tires being scrubbed at the last caution. We'll have to see how Jason's fresh tires help him at the end. That's going to be the big thing, is these 2 cars in Zeiss and Wynn have not stopped yet. 20-lap fresher tires is going to be a massive, massive deal.
Yeah, you're going to see Jason's lead grow here within the next few laps. You can only keep so close with how old their tires are.
They're going to battle for position off the corner. That's Matt Zeiss to the outside. Frank Wynn looking inside off the corner. He's going to tuck back in. If those cars keep battling like that, it's exactly what Jason Owens wants to see in the rearview mirror.
Jason is looking and smiling right now. That is the best sight you could see next to the white flag.
Absolutely. We'll pull his camera down here. Give him at least a minute or two off camera anyway. Top three battling. It'll be 5 laps to go next time by the start-finish line. Frank Wynn looking to the outside of Matt Zeiss. Not going to be quite close enough to attempt the pass. The comment that Frank made about having his tires being scrubbed, I wonder if some of it isn't a little bit of the skunking that we talk about with tires as well. You run them through multiple heat cycles, and it's like getting a beer, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. It just doesn't taste good anymore. It's the same thing with these tires. You run them through a certain number of heat cycles, and they're just not going to work as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't really seem to be affecting them much right now. Jason's still not pulling away.
Down to 4 laps remaining here at the Phoenix Raceway. Jason Owens, your race leader. Frank Wynn looking inside of Matt Zeiss through 3 and 4. Once again, Chad Irvine chiming in saying, track temperature is the hottest we've seen in officials as well. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting one to kind of look at from the perspective of how the tires are wearing off. At this point, Jason's tires may be as much of mush as the guys behind him.
Yeah, this is uncharted territory. You're from the driver's seat, you're nerve-wracked because you really don't know what to expect from your car now. And so trying to battle for the lead with tires that you have no idea what to expect from, that is big stuff right there.
Yeah, starting to see some of these lead cars push a little bit through the corners as well. They're working hard to keep them down on the inside. White flag is out, 1 lap to go here at Phoenix, and so long as he keeps it straight, this one's going to belong to Jason Owens. Off of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, one final time, checkered flag in the air. Jason Owens goes worst to first and picks up the win here in the Indy Pro 2000 Series at Phoenix.
Oh my god, what a drive. Jason, take a bow. That was a thing of beauty.
I was going to say, he's got the big smile on his face. He's doing the fist pump. Fantastic drive for Jason Owens. He's going to come around and take one more victory lap here. While he does that, let's get you the race results. Jason Owens, your winner by just over a quarter of a second over Matt Zeiss. Frank Wynn comes home 3rd, 4th to Mike Collier. 5th, good run for Paulo Vinicius out of Brazil. 6th is Kevin Smalley. We're going to have to replay that finish. How about 3 100ths at the start-finish line between 5th and 6th? Simon Fell coming home in 7th. Evan Adams, 8th. Cameron Dance, 9th. Kevin Bulassa in the 10th position. Wes Shire comes home 11th. Michael Wilkinson, 12th. Everett Paddock, 13th. And John Silva rounds out the field. Let's pull the hyper close up here and get you the replay of the checkered flag here between Kevin Smalley and Paulo Vinicius. Off at turn 4, what a battle this one was. Tight to the line here. We'll give you a little bit better look at it. Three-car battle through turns 3 and 4. Simon Fell backing out of it just a hair. Oh, What a fantastic finish there for a couple of positions. But we'll head back. Yeah.
That's unreal. We had back-to-back photo finishes within the span of half a second. When do you ever see that?
I was going to say, that one was absolutely epic here. Let's pick up our race winner, Mr. Jason Owens. A fantastic drive tonight. You kind of talked us through it over the course of the night, but what was the thought process as you went through this one here, Jason?
You know, got to give it up for my sponsors, Extra Life, Riley Children's Hospital here in Indianapolis. You know, they take care of any kid who's sick. Doesn't matter if the family can pay or not. It's all about Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Got to thank Carolina SimWorks. But, man, worst to first tonight. I totally blew it in qualifying twice. Not once, but twice. And come out here and make the pit strategy work on lap 20 and get all the way through the field, fastest lap. Cannot believe we did this in the SOF race. So, man, thanks for the broadcast, Chris, NRN TV. This is what it's all about. Thank you.
Yeah, this one's been it was exciting, and especially it was a lot of fun watching the different strategies play out here. I could have almost guaranteed you we would have seen Matt Zeiss and Frank Wynn fall off big time at that last caution flag, and they hung with you right to the end. It really speaks to how much fun these PM18s are to drive.
Oh, without a doubt, Chris. These are the best cars on iRacing. It's the best car on the service all around. It's a great oval car. It's an even better road car, even though I'm not good on road. I'm kind of the oval ringer guy. They talk about in NASCAR, you have the road ringers. I'm the oval ringer in this championship. But cannot talk about how awesome this car is. But you're right about the strategy, right? Like there's a little bit of fall off, and really that 20-lap differential I had in the tires was just enough to get around those guys. It's the hottest track I've run all week. I think this is my 11th or 12th race in officials this week. 28 Celsius, whatever that is in freedom units, I don't know, but hottest track of the week, and still managed to go out here and pull out the win. It's fantastic.
The last question I've got for you here is, you were the farthest advancing car of the ones that we saw make the early pit stop. Is that technique based in how you're driving the racetrack? Is that setup based? What was that little bit of an edge that put you ahead of some of these other drivers?
It's two things. One, figured out something on the setups on the left front, and went up one click on the front downforce. So I was able to start outside in turn 3 and cut across the aero wash of every car in front of me and get a run down the front. I sure hope it looked awesome on the broadcast, but that 4 or 5 laps where I was alongside Matthew, like I was just able to use that extra bit of downforce and finally get around him and then pull away. So it was those two things.
All right, Jason. Well, congratulations on the win here. We know you got the sponsor plugs in once. We'll let you do it again. Who would you like to thank?
Just overall, I want to thank Extra Life for Kids. On my page, we raised $5,000 last year in 2020, even with the pandemic, for Riley Hospital for Children. We're trying to do it again this year. You don't have to donate on my page. Find your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, whatever hospital in your town, your city, your neighborhood that takes care of kids. They take every kid who's sick, no matter whether or not they can, the family can afford to pay. They take care of them. Find your CMH hospital and support them. That's the number one sponsor plug here tonight.
All right, Jason. Well, congratulations on the win here. I highly doubt it, but let's see if we're talking to you again next week.
Oh, I doubt it too, but Long Beach is going to be a hell of a fun race.
All right, buddy. There you go. That's Jason Owens, your race winner here tonight. Burning it down here on the backstretch at Phoenix for the kids from Riley Children's Hospital. And I tell you what, James, this one was an absolute blast to get to watch. What are your thoughts as we get ready to wrap things up here?
Oval racing's just so much fun, and just especially with open wheel cars, there's just something about it. Like you don't really think it works, but it rarely ever fails to put on a great show. And it was just so much fun watching our very own Ed Carpenter come out with the big brain strategy and the big other things moves that he was making to pull off just an absolute beautiful drive.
Yes, it was. And like Jason mentioned, coming up next week, we'll be back here for the streets of Long Beach, about as polar opposite of a racetrack as you could come up with to the Phoenix Raceway. We're going to keep it on the West Coast and battle through Long Beach, California. That one's going to be a blast. Then we head off to the Daytona International Speedway road course. Pack racing on a road course is what you're looking at in a couple of weeks here. Then we head to WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. That one is going to be pretty epic as well. Watching these cars dive through the corkscrew. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one a bunch. Coming up here on the National Racing Network, the High Slide Cup Series Sunday night at 8 p.m. Silver Crown cars return for round number 7 in the second half of the season in a big way on Monday night at 9:45 Eastern Time. The Sprint Car Cup is back Tuesday at 9 p.m. So, hey, James, before we get off the air here, any last thoughts you want to give us?
Long Beach is going to be chaos. I expect carbon fiber and suspension pieces all over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess, and it is going to be absolutely glorious. So, with that, we'll wrap up our coverage here from Phoenix Raceway. On behalf of everybody here at the National Racing Network, my name is Chris Graham. It's been a pleasure to have James Watson in the booth with us tonight. We will talk to you soon. Have a great night, everybody.